guys, thanks for joining me in another ClockwerkCaseMods video update. This is for a client build for Kenroy. We're modding his Cooler Master HAF932, and in the first update rather, I made the power supply shroud and did the backing for it. I'm actually going to change some things on that one, and right now I'm going to get into some painting, and I'm going to be painting a part of that as well. I also have painting for my Cypress 29 project, so I figured I'd lump it all together and do it all at the same time. So I'll make a video for this for both projects at the same time. Kenroy's got blue here on the mesh painted by Frozen CPU. He sent his case out to get painted actually, so the whole case is painted blue now. And he had put some vinyl decals on and a gold vinyl, but we want to take the vinyl and change it to a gold metallic paint. It looks a lot better as paint rather than the vinyl. The vinyl is kind of transparent, and it just doesn't have that shine that gold metallic paint will have. So I'm going to actually use that gold metallic paint on the power supply shroud instead of trying to backlight the yellow acrylic, and I think it'll give a more natural gold appeal, and the light will shine onto it rather than through it. So I think it'll come out pretty well, and then that way all the gold throughout the whole case will match. It'll all be Rust-Oleum metallic gold. That's actually what all this plastic is going to be painted. So I'm taking out all the mesh pre-painted by Frozen CPU and setting that aside, and I'm going to prep all the plastics, scuff it, sand it if I need to. Just scuffing it will probably be alright. Scuff it and then wash it with soap and water, get the grease off, and shoot it with primer, self-etching primer for plastics, and then hit it with the gold paint and then some clear coat. And at the same time I'll be painting all these accent pieces that I've made for the rear panel on the Cypress 29 project, and all that will be part of the other work log. So for now it's just focusing on Kenroy stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get all the rest of the meshes out and start prepping these pieces. Okay, so I have all the plastic parts all scuffed. I spent about an hour on each project here on Kenroy's plastics for his Cooler Master case here. I just shoveled a path out to the shed where I'm going to be painting all the parts, and all I got to do is wash everything off with soap and water, get all the dust and grease off, and then they'll be ready for primer. So I'm going to go ahead and get them washed off and take everything outside. And okay, so after scuffing up all the parts for Kenroy's build, I'm going to go ahead and wash them off in this tub here with just some soap and water, and get off all the dust and all the grease from your hands, and all that stuff will have different effects on the paint. It'll make either bubble up or orange peel and stuff like that, and it's nothing you want to deal with because it always ends up in reworking all the panels. And whenever you're painting, you usually want to try to get it right the first time because it's a pain to go back and redo it. So it's easier just to take the extra effort and prep it right than to go through and redo everything because you wanted to make it go 5 minutes faster during your prep time. It's totally not worth it. So I'm going to wash off all these and then wash off the parts for Cypress 29 and take them out to the shed to paint them. Alright guys, I'm heading out to the outside paint shop. You can see what we have to deal with here in Cleveland, Ohio when you want to mod computers. Trudge through the snow. I just had to shovel this whole walkway all the way out here, only to get inside and then have to build an entire paint fixture stand. Sorry for shaking the camera around, trying to walk with the tripod. There we go. I can't believe I worked out here all winter last winter. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit all these parts with primer and then get laying some paint. Alright, it's freezing cold out here. I got everything in primer now. Like I said, because a couple of these clips might end up in 2 videos because I'm painting for the same parts. I got Kenroy's plastic here. It's going to be painted gold. I got some copper, or some plastic for my build that's going to be painted copper. I'm kind of on some time crunch right now, so I think it's safe enough to leave plastic and primer and then come back to it. I'm probably going to end up painting like one of these at a time. Just paint it, get it into the house, and do as many as I can tonight and do what I can tomorrow. Just being trapped out here, it's so damn cold right now. It's like 10 degrees outside or something, I don't even know. But, you know, I'm not going to get a good, you know, the paint's not going to dry well if I have to leave it out here in this cold ass weather, so I think I'm just going to try to like come out here, grab a piece, hit it with the paint, hit it with the clear, take it in the garage, hang it up to dry. So I don't know, it's going to be a pain in the ass to carry the camera and tote it all around, so I'll probably just end up showing you guys all the parts when they're all finished, and just try to wrap this up so I don't got, you know, I don't got a cameraman. I'm doing everything by myself, so it's hard to lug everything around, but I don't know. I guess I'll get back to you guys as soon as I have all these parts in the garage and everything's laid out to dry. Alright. All the parts came out pretty nice. The blue and gold theme I really like. It was so cold out in the shed, it was ridiculous. It would really be nicer if I could paint everything, you know, in a nice warm area with a booth and be able to see everything with nice lighting, because the lighting out there was terrible. So there's a couple of little spots where it didn't go on as thick as I would have liked. So I'm going to touch up a couple of these. I want to make sure that they're perfect before they go back on the case. But overall, I really like it. It's going to be a really clean theme. And next up, I'm going to assemble what I'm going to keep for right where it's at and get it put back on the case. And then I'm probably going to start working on the power supply shroud. Anything I'm going to touch up, I actually have a panel for the shroud that's got to get painted as well. So I'm going to do that at the same time. And then we'll see. I'll see where I take it after that. I'll see how much more time I can add onto the video. So I'm going to go ahead and get some pieces put back together. Okay, so all the paint's cured and I decided to put all the mesh back in and stick it on the case. There's a couple pieces I want to touch up. It's hard to tell if the metallic is just catching it at the angle and it's making it seem dark, or if I actually missed some spots, because I've seen the same kind of effect in the copper metallic. So I'm going to kind of go over it a little bit closer and double check, but I like the colors, I like the theme. The theme looks really nice. I think for this video the last thing I'm going to do is paint this yellowish gold color with the metallic, and instead of lighting from the underside of this power supply shroud, I'm going to just put some lights in the front bottom and in the back and have it light up on top. And then that'll be the painting. That'll be the last thing I do in this video, and then next video will be actually installing that into the case and mounting it into place, and probably that'll wrap up that video. And then we have some other I'll probably actually go onto the door panel, and we're gonna expand the window here and make it a little bit bigger, and I'm still trying to figure that out right now and quote that out. So for now I'm gonna go ahead and get this painted. Here you can see I took the yellow acrylic and just painted the top half. All that really matters is the top, because from the inside of the case, you'll never see this part. This part will be against the power supply, and then now the lights are going to hit it from the top, and it should show the metallic off pretty well. I put a layered clear coat on this as well, and this will be glued to the underside of the power supply shroud, and I'll show you that in a second. Here is the blue painted power supply shroud, and basically the gold sit up under there like that, so it'll be nice, match the theme almost identical. So once I have it glued in, I can glue in the little pieces of the letters I have saved inside, and get the front one glued on. And in one of the coming videos I'll show installing this and adding the LEDs. But for now I'm just going to get some glue on here and finish it up. Alright, normally to glue acrylic I use the acrylic cement, but in the case of it being painted, and as both painted surfaces are going to glue together, that acrylic cement would wash all the paint all over the place and actually peel it off. So what I'm going to do is use some Loctite super glue. I have a couple different kinds. This one's 4471. I'm really not sure. I got a lot of these from my old job, so either way they work great from plastics. I mean, it bonds it really well. And I'm just kind of going to put it in the areas that are, everywhere in between here is going to be where it needs to be bonded at, because I don't want it to seep out anywhere. And it doesn't take a lot for this to hold, and you gotta make sure you get it good the first time, otherwise the panel will be ruined. That should be plenty. Just gotta eye it up and center it. There we go. That should be good. And that glue dries real quick too, so you got to get it into place really fast. Now I'm going to get the other spot. Here's the smaller panel. Basically, if I line it up exactly with the other one, it should fit right where I need it to. Alright, now to glue on the smaller panel. Sorry, it's hard to see here. There's not much light in the garage. We need to get a lot more lights out here. There you go. Okay, to do the lettering, I'm basically just putting a little dab of super glue on the back of the cutout with the tweezers and set it into place. There we go. Alright, and nothing's ever as easy as it looks, as it's going to be, but the power supply shroud, I had this in here and it wouldn't slide right in, and I'm like wondering what the hell's going on. And there's two rivets under here that are stopping it, and I do remember that now from back when I was working on my Cooler Master HAF935 or 932, I'm sorry. So I popped out the two rivets because they really aren't structurally doing anything. They're just kind of holding on the bottom of this, but I mean, you already have two more here. It's kind of overkill anyway. So I took those out and I go to slide it in and it still won't slide all the way in. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And this pin that holds on these fancy, you know, screwless graphics card locks is sticking out under the bottom there. So I took this pin out, I cut the end off on the bandsaw and filed it down a little bit. And after I got it all filed down and looking nice, I cut it exactly where it needed to be, but it was hitting here, so I made an extra bend on the pin at the top, and now it's in and it's holding everything in place pretty well. So now this should slide right in all the way to the back, and it does. So now I'm gonna have to fix some panels and stuff to kind of keep it into place, but other than that, it's right on. So I'm gonna end this video here with that, and in the next one, I'm not quite sure yet. It'll either be the window or some custom paint. Probably just working on the door panel with the window and the paint together. So other than that, that's gonna wrap up this client video. I think it's update 2 on the client video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share, and yeah, take it easy.